On the road again, just racing with my friends. I can't wait to race at Road American. Kind of fell apart at the end there. All right, Road America. I like this track. It's a good track. I got like a 208 something early on, which is okay. I was okay with that time. But then I'm like, well, I don't have to work on Monday. I'll keep pushing. I was able to get down to like a 208.01 or something like really low. I'm like, oh, I'm so close to a 207. So I kept pushing and pushing and pushing until I got a 207. 207.928 to be exact. Not far off from a 208. I messed up the last corner. But I think the fast guys are going to be doing 206s. But like I said, I am pretty happy with this time. I'm getting better at the carousel. Every once in a while, I'll get it right, as opposed to like seasons past where I goof it up every time and have to make up the speed elsewhere. I think of every few laps, I'll be able to actually do it correctly. But I'm going to show you my quick lap where I did get the carousel correct. I did goof up in the last corner, but that's a lot easier to get right, I think. So we'll go ahead and we'll show you that. And then we'll come back. We'll go through. I'll talk through how I did it, and I'll tell you how to do the last corner correctly instead of just watching me. I'll tell you. Anyhow, then we'll come back for some final thoughts. Here we go.
Sector 1 is quick. Sector 2 time is good. That was a 207.93. That's your fastest lap today.
Alright, Porsche Cup, fixed setup, Road America. We have adjusted the brake bias back 4 clicks. I think it's a minus 5.5 on the dash there. 41.1%. Let's actually get rid of these overlays. And we're going to go through how we did it. So just flat out through the start-finish straight here. Lots of straightaways on this track. Braking into the first corner is a little bit after the 4 cones here. Not like a ton, but a little bit after. And there we go. On the brakes. Pretty heavy into this first braking zone. And we're going to ease off and turn in there just a little bit. Just keep on relaxing on that brake pedal. Do your trail brake thing. And as we get pulled around here into 3rd gear, we're going to start putting back on the throttle. Going to ease into it. And once we get the car kind of straightened out, or the wheels straightened out a little bit more, We still need to turn it a little bit to get it going the right direction, but we are full throttle. And then we can just be full throttle here again. We're going to wait until the 2 marker, but it's hard to see off there. There are little white lines we're going to be looking for as we come up here. I'm going to hit the brakes a little bit before that white line there. So going, brakes. And again, we're pretty decent on the brakes, not as quite as much as the first corner because we're not going as fast, but and we're just going to start easing off. Get down to 3rd again. Turning in and easing off at the same time. And we'll start putting the throttle back in just a little bit. A lot of wheel this time. It's a bit of a sharper corner. And we'll unwind the wheel. Put the rest of the throttle down. We're going to use this curb on the left here as much as we can. We don't want to hit the grass here. It's an off track. So we're just going to get the car back over before then. And then it is full throttle all the way down the straight here. There's probably an ideal place to put your car on the straight. I don't know what it is. So I just kind of do whatever. Braking is going to be kind of between the beginning of the sand here and the 3. Kind of varies for me. So we're going to start hitting the brakes and we're going to point the car kind of towards this curbing here because we're going to use a bit of that as we go. We're aiming to get the car down to 2nd. This is a very heavy braking zone because we're going real fast after that long straightaway. And we're starting to ease off the brakes here. Just want to get it down to where we've got like a little bit of brake pressure as we're turning in. And clip this curb a bit here on the inside, and we're starting to put that throttle back in just a little bit until we start unwinding the wheel. You can see what happens if you do it wrong. We're gonna start unwinding that wheel and putting the rest of the throttle in. And your right wheels can brush this here, but that's about it. Much further over, and you're gonna get an off track. That's about as far over as you can go. We're full throttle once again. As we head up this hill here, I'm going to end up short shifting into 4th. Otherwise, I hit the rev limiter right around when I want to brake, and don't like it. So 4th, and then we're going to start to brake right before we crest the hill, so we get that extra braking power from going up the hill. So the wheels are pushing into the ground is pushing into the wheels rather. But yeah, we're on the brakes. About 40-50% there, and then we're going to start easing off almost right away. We're going to get down to 2nd for this corner here. Probably do it in 3rd, but 2nd works best for me. I'm just telling you whatever works best for me. And then we're going to start putting the throttle back in as we come around. And as we straighten out the wheel once again, we can start putting the rest of that power down. And we just want to keep turning just a little bit. Once we get settled down, we can turn over, and we're going to aim to get over to this left-hand side here. Hit 4th gear around. There's this patch here, which is kind of one of my mental markers of lighter colored grass. Get to 4th, and then we're going to lift just a little bit, not all the way. And we're going to start putting the throttle back in as soon as we come over here. There we go. More throttle. And there we go. Get the rest of the way on it as we kind of settle the car in and get it pointed the direction we want it to point. And we are full throttle for this whole section here up until it's between the 3 and the 2. And just after the 3 is what I would aim for. Again, we've got these markers. This is the 4 painted on the ground here. And then here's the 3. And then we're gonna brake about halfway between. And we're gonna get down to 2nd again. 4th, 3rd. Turning in just a bit. Easing off that brake, get down to 2nd. There's banking here. We gotta be careful when we kind of come out of this banking. We don't want to do it too abruptly, otherwise it'll unsettle the car. So we're just holding that little bit of brake pressure, starting to put the throttle back in, easing it as we come out and straighten out the wheel. And then we can get full throttle. And the carousel's coming up. This is my least favorite part of this track. I only get it right every so often. We got it right on this lap. So we're just going full throttle, up to fourth, kind of zinger in there. This is banked ever so like slightly. I think there's a little bit of a gutter on the inside here. We're gonna lift, just kind of let her coast for a little bit, and start bringing a little bit of throttle back in just to kind of maintain speed. I'm not trying to accelerate or anything. I'm just trying to like maintain my speed. So I'm just kind of riding the throttle, waiting patiently, letting go. We're starting to drift out a little bit here, which is kind of what we want to do. Now we're waiting for. I see this little bit of dirt. That's kind of a mental marker in my head. When this ends, that's when we want to get full throttle. And we don't want to clip the inside of this grass here. I've done that plenty. There we go. We can get full throttle now. Once we hit this, we can get onto this curbing. So now we can get full throttle. And as we come out, we've got so much wheel in here, but we can open up the wheel. And then we are full throttle again. We're gonna wait until around the 2 here. I believe that's where we lift. Yeah, just after the 2. And then just past the 1, we can start putting the throttle back in, turning in. Clip this curb on the inside. And all the way to the outside. Just full throttle, sending it. And then we're just full throttle through here. That was probably the best of the carousels I ever did. We're gonna brake. I had a tough time deciding between this sign and the 4, so you can probably just split the difference between the 2. But we want to be facing straight when we hit the brakes. It's a pretty heavy braking zone. We're going really fast. I'm gonna start downshifting. Our goal is to eventually get down to second through this corner here. We're easing up off the brakes as we're coming down in speed. Turning the car in just a little bit and ease more off the brakes. We are down in second. We're going to start putting the throttle back in. More wheel. And straighten out the wheel. We're going to come out all the way over onto this curbing over here. We are full throttle already. Back up to third, and then we're just pointing the car. We don't want to hit this grass here. It's an off track, so we're just trying to make sure we get in before that. And it's full throttle through here. We're gonna wait till this curbing on the right. We're gonna lift when we get there. So we're gonna lift a little bit as we turn in. It's about halfway up that curb, I guess. A little bit later than I thought. And I think I goofed up on this last section here. I think it was up by like 4/10 of a second at this point, and then I got excited and messed up the final corner, but we're just waiting on that throttle. Partway, and we're going to straighten out the wheel. No, we're going to keep the wheel in and mash the throttle. We were going, and that's what the grip told us to do. We're going to get the car over to the left here. Then we are going to goof this up, but we want to like brake a little bit before where the pavement changes colors. Ideally we would be over a little bit further to the left, but kind of goof that up. We're just gonna hit the brakes, ease off. I do like second for this corner. It's probably doable in third, but I like second. Get back on the throttle. I think I got on the throttle a little bit too soon. Yeah, so you see me correcting this. I'm like, this feels too soon. So I would hold the brakes just a smidge longer. Like I get on the throttle there, I wouldn't do it. I would still hold the brakes there. and get on the throttle about here is what you want to do. I goofed that up and it cost me like 2-3 tenths of a second, something like that. But then it's full throttle from there. We got ourselves a 2:07.928. So yeah, like I said, pretty happy with the times. Fast guys are gonna be quicker, but I'm like I said, pretty stoked. I feel quicker here than I ever have. We'll see how that pays off on the races. Head on over to twitch.tv/thepiltdownman if you want to watch along live when we do those. Thumbs up if you liked the video, thumbs down if you didn't. If you think I earned it, hit the subscribe button. I do appreciate that. And we'll see you next time. Bye!